Hi and welcome back to Father's Legal Guidance. If you haven't watched our previous video, I'd advise you to do so first. But if you have, then stay here and we shall continue our presentation about fathers' rights. So first of all, fathers have the same legal status as mothers. If you are on the birth certificate or you have parental responsibility legally provided for you, you have the same equal rights to your child as the mother. This is not debatable. As we said in the previous video, it did not used to be like this. It was almost that you had the responsibility to pay for your child, but you didn't have the same rights as the mum. Those days are gone. So when you do speak or think about your situation that you're currently in, this is the frame of mind you have to be in. Because not only do you have the same right as mum, your child has the same right to you. And that's the most important thing. So what rights are these then? So let's start with be involved in your child's rights. So you have the right to be involved in your child's life. Taking your child to school, booking extracurricular activities such as sports clubs, play clubs, or even taking your child a holiday, that is being involved in your child's life. Make important decisions. So if your child has to move school, for example, you are choosing which doctor surgery to sign up, but do bear in mind these types of important decisions, which are normally referred to as life-changing decisions, they have to be decided together with mum. You both have to agree to this, and some families do it fantastically. You can apply to court for orders, right? So there is no limit to what you can apply for. Things like joint lives orders, specific issues orders, non-molestation orders, whatever you feel is in the child's best interest. Now, we will discuss these orders later, but we only mention them for now, but they're actually quite a crucial element to be educated on. You have the right to seek time with your child. So whether this is a temporary arrangement during a duration of a court case or whether you seek full custody, 50-50 shared care arrangement, you can apply for any of those options. And protect your relationship. So in summary, you are protecting your relationship with your child by considering and actioning all of the above points that we mentioned. So if you don't get involved in any of these points that we mention here, agencies such as social services, CAFCAS, or even a judge in court will wonder, well, why are you seeking an arrangement, let's say full custody, that you haven't demonstrated? Okay. So the key is to demonstrate all of these points here to make sure that your relationship with the child and your involvement in the child's life is never questioned. So, parental responsibility, we need to discuss this because it seems to be a bit of a grey area with people. So, parental responsibility means you have the legal right and duty to be involved in major decisions about your child. So, the key word here is legal. So, no matter what allegations are given against you, your legal right from a legal perspective stays. It doesn't just go away because somebody has allegations against you. So, from that legal perspective, as long as your relationship with your child is within their best interest, you have already equalized your position with mum. And this is exactly why there is a tendency to escalate allegations against you, to downplay that legal notion and overshadow it with safeguarding or criminal allegations, right? But what I will say is there are incredible mothers involved in court cases who promote dads and dads promote mums, and they want their child to see both parents. But if not, parental responsibility is a great place to start. So, what are these decisions? Okay, so education. As I said, school placement, school clubs, drop offs, pickups, school issues. and things like that. Some mums tend to contact the school and falsely tell them that they are the primary carer. So make sure you contact them, inform them that this is not the case, which will then result in the school being much more transparent. Schools are fantastic at dealing with things like that, but unfortunately, they can only go by what they're told. So if they don't find out anything from you, they simply won't know. Health. So doctor's surgery registrations, dentist registrations, and if your child needs to take medicine, for example, while in school or nursery, you are able to monitor that, and then the school will have to report that to you. Religion is this issue tends to arise from families where parents are from different nationalities with different religions, and this is probably the easiest issue to solve, as everybody has a right to choose whatever religion they prefer, no matter what anybody says about it. Okay. Living arrangements. So, with cases where mum asks for more custody, you have the right to seek an alternative. And the point is that whatever the request is, has to it has to align with the case. Okay. There is no wish list, for example, that has to be supplied just because someone says so. It has to be in the child's best interest. You can both have various requests that you would like, but they have to align with what is best for the child. Passport and travel in terms of parental responsibility. In our cases, or in our experience, the other side have attempted to make travel quite difficult. And this is because you cannot take a child out of the country without consent from both parents. If you do, it could mean trouble. And the same goes for mum. So holiday travel within the country is usually the best option, but abroad travel is best to be handled by both parents, where documents are signed, agreements are made, just to make sure that there is no trouble, the day before or on the day, which can just be catastrophic. So, child arrangements, what can you apply for? Now, the first order that I've put on this list, they're all different orders that are made by judges. Okay, so the first one is the child arrangements order, was to do with where the child lives. So this order specifies how and where the child or children shall live. So, for example, with dad, with mum, equally between both parents, less with mum, less with dad, etc., etc. So all days will be specified, and the times of the exchange will be specified, and the place where the exchanges will occur will also be detailed. A specific issue order. So this refers to decisions about education, health, travel, etc. So let's say a father wants to take the children on holiday, and he wants to do this every year. But mum disagrees because there may be a new partner involved. So obviously there are some personal feelings involved now, or they just don't want to allow it. A specific issue order will then specify when the father can take the children on holiday, when the mother can take the children on holiday, and when to return. So, for example, both dad and mum may have 14 days during summer holidays, specific date of travel will be ordered, and travel details like the address of the place to stay may need to be supplied before travel. So, the order is specific to an issue that parents can't agree on. A prohibited steps order is to stop someone from making decision, right? So this is an order that prohibits the other side to do something. Okay, it's probably the best way to explain it. So let's say that you are in the middle of a court case and the mum alleges that if you take your child abroad, that you won't return her, right? Or you return your child. And this is actually quite a common situation. So while this is being investigated, a judge may put a prohibited steps order in place to stop any travel abroad until the end of the court case. And that seems quite fair because, the judge is not going to say, to whoever makes the allegation, you're making this up. It needs to be investigated and needs to be concluded. And then the prohibited steps order will then become obsolete if there are no issues that anyone can see. Now, there is actually a order missing from this list. It's called a non-molestation order, and that is linked to harassment, intimidation, unwanted contact through text, emails, and phone calls, etc. So if you do have experience in this from the other side, you can apply for a non-molestation order so that the other side basically leaves you and your child alone. It's simple as that. Okay, you may even specify in there that you don't want to be near that person for a certain distance because of the dangers that currently you're facing. And lastly, to change an existing order. So this is called a variation. So it simply refers to orders that are already in place, the content of which you would like to change. So, for example, contact with the child or days currently assigned for exchanges, you might want to change them. And if you've agreed this with mum and you want it obviously on black and white, this is a great, a variation to the order will basically change your current circumstances. Now, contact is a right, it's not a privilege. And you have the right to ask the court for time with your child. This is so important. Okay. I know from a father's point of view, it seems that this is it's just mothers that do this, but you have the right to do this as well. So the other side, whether you're a mum or a dad, they may try all possible intimidation tactics to make you think otherwise, right? But no matter what allegations or what tactics come your way, they never take your right to have time with your child. Okay. And the court know this. And the court expects both parents to encourage and support the child's relationship with the other parent. This is Section 11 of the Children's Act. Now, if there is anything that we wish for our clients and parents worldwide, then this is it. It seems so simple, and a lot of mum and dad do this fantastically well. But when they don't, it is always the child that is affected the most. Now, if there is a genuine concern about the child's welfare with another parent, then promoting the other parent can be difficult. But if the child benefits from being with both parents, then promoting the other parent should be a minimum requirement. Okay, so there is a caveat though. There's one thing to be careful here, and this is when a parent sends lovely text messages, promotes you on the phone, and is friendly in front of others in your company, even in front of the child. But in actual fact, the child is being manipulated against you when in the care of the other parent. Okay, this is also a very, very common occurrence, and our clients have experienced this. So if you do have trouble with this, please do get in touch and we will provide help for you. It is very resolvable, but it needs to be handled appropriately. So important decisions should be shared. So if you have parental responsibility, you have the right to be involved in important decisions. Okay. And this is mainly because of the Children's Act. But one thing that everyone misses out is that your child deserves parental responsibility from both parents. It's how important decisions are made. So if the child lives between parents, this doesn't change. There are going to be decisions you will both need to decide as parents. And there are those decisions which you will make on your own as long as it doesn't affect the time with the other parent, unless it is granted. And there are parents who do this phenomenally well, okay? But of course, when disputes happen, this can be quite a hard task. Now, you should not be kept in the dark about your child's life. Sometimes this does happen because the other parent attempts to make it look like they are the primary carer, okay? Even simple things like choosing a dentist. We have or had clients who are told that they couldn't include the dad as a primary parent after the mum had done it in a dentistry because they haven't got a space for his name on the software that they use for the customer account. I mean, it's just nonsense. I mean, this kind of things, it does get changed. There are ways around this, but some of the issues dads face are incredible. So it is crucial that you stay informed. So excluding you can damage your relationship with your child. Now, imagine that a child wants to go for a school trip and a consent form is required by school. A great parent will say something along the lines of, let me discuss it with your dad or mum, and we can decide together. You see, this way, a child will then feel that the other parent is included. It will feel more of a family notion, right? On the other hand, they can say, yes, of course you can go, but don't tell your dad or your mum because he or she won't let you go. Okay, now this is when exclusion can damage the relationship with your child. Okay, and you really do have to stay one step ahead at all times regarding situations like this. So we're going to stop it here. We're going to move on to our next video. If you need help with any of the issues that were mentioned, visit our website or get in touch. Otherwise, we will see you in the next video.